So the last 2 chapters of Black Clover has been really insane, mainly due to the fact of Morris accelerating the process for the first gate of the Tree of Qliphoth to open, which had happened in chapter 279. And ever since Morris has done that, it has been hell on earth because he released the 2 demons from the first gate, which is Nama and Lilith. And from that first gate alone, the ancient demon of the Spade Kingdom that Mereoleona was fighting has gotten back up. And out of nowhere, we see more demons coming out of the Spade Kingdom, which we can all assume that these are the lower-ranking devils of the first gate. And to make matters worse, another ancient demon has appeared in front of the Clover Kingdom. But ever since chapter 279, when we find out that Morris can transplant and extract power from someone else from the Grimoire and implant it within himself, and then we find out that he is also a devil host and accelerating the process of the Tree of Qliphoth, a lot of us has been asking this question: what is his goal? What does he really want? Is he the main villain of this arc? And why is it that the devil markings that are on his head look very similar to the one of Dante's? And I believe I figured it out. There could be a strong connection here. And I talked about this connection on a live stream on the channel Black Clover vs. Everybody. And also other Black Clover YouTubers were in this stream as well. But when we started talking about the Tree of Qliphoth, trying to identify the demons that are in this Tree of Qliphoth, I ran a theory to Josuke, the guy who owns the Black Clover vs. Everybody channel, and also another Black Clover YouTuber who goes by the name of Jack Oates. The theory that I ran by them was about how Dante and Morris are connected and how Morris is actually also connected to the Tree of Qliphoth. But in this stream, I had to stop myself from speaking more because I had to write this down because I wanted to make a video about it.
Man, let me speak. Let me stop.
You speaking fast right now. You making a lot of sense to me right now.
Like
to me, you making a lot of sense.
So how is Morris and Dante connected to the Tree of Qliphoth? Let's get right into it. So before we break down this theory, we must talk about the Tree of Qliphoth because there is a lot of misconceptions within the community. Because now that the first gate is open, we see Nama and Lilith. A lot of people believe that these demons represents the attribute on the Tree of Qliphoth, which are the twin gods. The attribute called Thamel, which is very understandable because these demons look very alike, but there is a reason why they look so much alike. In demonology and also the Kabbalah magic of few teachings, Nama on the Tree of Qliphoth is traditionally a demon and a sister of Lilith. In chapter 280, when we find out the demons' names, Tabata added his own twist into the story by making Nama a man, but it makes sense why he had these 2 demons come out at the exact same time, and they look very similar because on the Tree of Qliphoth, they are still siblings. As we see on the Tree of Qliphoth, there is 10 attributes, but since the Tree of Qliphoth represents the Tree of Death, the opposite of the Tree of Life, which is the Tree of Sephiroth, you have to look at the Tree of Qliphoth upside down. Lilith, the Queen of the Night, is the 10th attribute, and the 9th attribute, the Gamel, is Nama. However, in some mythologies, Lilith is also in the Gamel, while Nama is in the other attribute. However, in any mythology, they are still siblings, and they are both in the 10th and 9th attribute. Which is why in chapter 273, Tabata has these 2 demons connected. So no, these are not the twin gods that represents the Thamel. So the twin gods of the Thamel, which devils represents that attribute? This is where the theory of Dante and Morris comes into play. In chapter 279, Morris revealed that he has the abilities of a devil host, but people believe that he transplanted a power of a devil and put it within himself, so he really didn't have the devil powers all along, which is not the case. Morris stated, through the power of a devil, my magic made it possible to even extract and transplant even Loropechika's wisdom. This made a lot of people believe that Morris probably stole some devil power from someone else, but that can't be the case because he said this is the power of his devil magic. His devil magic allows him to extract and transplant one's power. It's impossible for him to extract and transplant a power from a devil host and put it within himself if that's the power of his devil, because he wouldn't have it before. That is why in the background of this panel, the way it's about to put it, you see Mars and Fauna in the background because this is something that Mars has been doing for the longest time. In Mars' flashback, when he thought he killed human Fauna, Mars stated that for the combining, why not use Fauna's ability? He is the last one she killed. In chapter 92, Mars stated that I was brainwashed by the mage scholar Morris and surgically modified. They made me fight with a grimoire that had your power transplanted into it. This is evidence that even back then, Morris had devil powers and he has been transplanting the powers of people for the longest time, because Morris just stated that the power was transplanted into the grimoire. This makes a lot of sense why Morris is able to create these magic stones and also fusing the grimoires together by extracting and transplanting one's attribute which is why Mars have the ability of mineral magic and also Fauna's flame magic. And this all happened when they were kids, so Morris had this devil power for many years. So based off the evidence and the timeline and what Morris explained about his devil magic, he is indeed a devil host and not just a character with the abilities of a devil host and has a devil of his own. But it's clear as day that he did not do a devil binding ritual because he has the same markings just like the other Dark Triad members, but is very similar to Dante. Clearly, if he would have done a devil binding ritual, he would have had some sort of relic or some sort of connection that he has, just like how Nacht has the relics that he wears and how Asta, his connection through his devil is from his Grimoire and also his arm. So Nacht and Asta, they can summon their devils into the real world, while the Dark Triad, they can't because their devils are in the Underworld. So this makes sense why, if Morris is a devil host and has a devil marking and he does not have a devil relic, it's clear as day that his devil is still in the Underworld just like the Dark Triad, which is why he is connected to the Tree of Qliphoth. And it makes a lot of sense why he is speeding up the process to open the Tree of Qliphoth. If he does not have a devil, part of the Underworld and part of the Tree of Qliphoth, then what exactly does he gain by opening the gate? I think it's deeper than that, because clearly Tabata has been making Morris in this story one step ahead of everybody with his knowledge. Nacht stated that there is actually 10 devils inside the Tree of Qliphoth, but I believe that there is actually 11, and this goes hand in hand by the Kabbalah teachings of the Tree of Qliphoth. One of the attributes on the Tree of Qliphoth is called Sathariel. And to the Sathariel, the devil that resides there is called Lucifuge. Now, upon hearing his name, you might think that this is another way of saying Lucifer, but it actually isn't. This is a whole different devil within its entirety. Lucifuge, according to the Grand Grimoire, is a demon that resides and is in charge of Hell's government, which is ordered by Lucifer. Lucifer is the one that ordered Lucifuge to guard and be an attribute on the Tree of Qliphoth. One of the interesting things about Lucifuge is that it's described that he is one of the 11 rulers. There are 10 Qliphoths, and the last one is the Thamel. It is split into 2, thus making it 11. So according to the Kabbalah tree itself, there is not 10 devils, there's actually 11. According to Nacht, Lucifero is the last devil that is on the bottom of the Tree of Qliphoth. Nacht also stated that the first level demons that will come out will be equal to the Dark Triad, but he miscalculated and he was clearly wrong. I believe that he is miscalculating the actual number of the devils that are in the Tree of Qliphoth. The last attribute on the Tree of Qliphoth is called the Thamel, and the Thamel description is known as the twin gods. If the Thamel, since we already found out that is split into 2, who is the other demon that's on the Thamel? To the Thamel, there are 2 demons that are attributed to stress the view that the demonic opposite of Kether is duality instead of unity, and are Satan and Molech. Since we already know Satan is just another name of saying Lucifer, but Lucifero, that Tabata has went with within the story, is just the Italian way of saying Lucifer. However, according to the Tree of Qliphoth itself, there is actually 2 devils that are on the bottom, which is Satan and Molech. They are the twin gods, which makes that 11 devils to the Tree of Qliphoth. According to demonology and also the Bible itself, Molech is the name or term that appears several times in the Hebrew Bible, primarily in the book of Leviticus. The Bible strongly condemns practice associated with Molech, which appear to have included child sacrifices. What is Morris known for in the story of Black Clover? Morris experimented on children within the Diamond Kingdom that made them slaughter each other for the sacrifice to create the strong mage, which was explained to us by Klaus that that's why the diamond that is on Mars' head, which is the reward that was given to Mars from Morris, and he is known as one of the survivors that went through these human experiments. And that is why it makes sense that all the H-Tiny generals had went through this similar case. Morris made kids to slaughter each other just for the reward to make a strong mage, to make and form the H-Tiny generals. Molech is known for child sacrifices. The things that Morris do with these child experiments within the story, the description fits the devil Molech, which is also in the Thamel connected to Lucifero. According to the Tree of Qliphoth, Dante's devil Lucifero is one of the twin gods on the Thamel, and there is another god which is known as the demon Molech. This makes me 100% believe that Morris' actual devil is Molech. which makes a lot of sense why Tabata has the symbols that are on Dante and Morris' head. They look so similar because they represent the twin gods Onathamel, Satan, and Molech. This also makes me believe why Morris took the opportunity to work with the Dark Triad, because they have a common goal: to open the gate to use the fullness of their devil powers. Because unlike Nacht and Asta, they cannot perform devil unions because they do not have devil relics that can summon their devils into the real world to combine with them. So this is why I strongly believe why Tabata has set up Morris in this arc, because he also has a devil a part of the Tree of Qliphoth, but we never know until it is revealed. It's possible that he just has Morris there to just do chaos. But I believe Tabata has a strong in-game plan for Morris, and according to the Tree of Qliphoth, if Tabata is going about this accordingly, just like what he did with the Tree of Life, the Tree of Sephiroth, this could be the biggest twist, one of the biggest twists in Black Clover. However, this is just a theory, but what I also theorize is that you probably came this far into the video and probably thought to yourself, I should probably consider subscribing to the channel with notification bells on for more Black Clover content. You guys have an awesome life. Take care of yourselves, and I'm out.